there's a lot of things we're going to talk about. Let's just jump right into it because I think it's something we can just lead right into, and we're going to start Fiorella off. Fiorella, Jeffrey Epstein. Is he dead or alive? If he's dead, how did it happen? If he's alive, where's he at?
I mean, I think he's dead. I've seen the pictures, which, I mean, are kind of weird. I mean, his ear does look different. His nose does look different. But he also, when you die, like, your face does different things. So there's always that possibility. I do think he's dead. I think he was killed by powerful people on both sides of the aisle, because way too many people had so much to lose if he continued staying alive, and if the case continued to unravel in that way that it was unraveling and garner the attention that it was garnering especially the independent media, because the mainstream is always framing it, like CNN, MSNBC, Trump, Fox, Clinton.
Right.
But obviously we know that this is involving multiple people, and it goes way deeper than that. So I think he was killed by powerful people. I can't exactly pinpoint to exactly who.
I think it's I totally agree with that, and
You agree that he's dead? Murdered?
I do believe he was murdered. Now, to just play, I don't like getting into on my show. I don't like getting into wild conspiracy theories. I like facts, but this is a very unique situation. So the facts are this: he has ties to everyone, the royal family. Ghislaine Maxwell, her dad was a Mossad agent. I mean, the Clintons, even the Trumps, right? So, even if did Trump participate in raping these girls? I don't know. He definitely knew about it. That's the other thing. So there's the things to focus on are, this is part of a multi-billion-dollar sex trafficking ring. This isn't just like a creepy guy that was a pedophile. This is way bigger than that. So we know all of these people were involved. And we all predicted he was going to, there's no way, how does a guy, and then, people say, convicts, it's a badge of honor if they kill a pedophile, and the guards would all gladly let him get killed by somebody. Okay, sure. He wasn't walking around in Gen Pop.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. He was in specific protective custody. So there's those things to think about. Also, as I said, talking to Mike Hopper, and how did this happen? The other thing too, and I've started following more people online that have been following areas of this. This one woman who's a screenwriter named Tiffany, I forget her last name, but she's a screenwriter who's really gone into Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And her hashtag is #pedowood.
Yeah.
So, which this unveils the most powerful people, the ruling class, when you have the royal family in there and Mossad. And so Acosta was told to back off in 2008 because he was an intelligence asset.
Yes.
So there's so many things here. I don't believe that he's still alive. Now, I talked to a whistleblower investigator who's done a lot of investigation into the intelligence community. Mm-hmm. And they were like, look, the intelligence community could have gotten him out of there and he's still alive. And that could still, and am I just saying no to that? I believe that's a possibility without a doubt. Mm-hmm. I definitely believe that's a possibility, because the one thing that is curious here is we know this from some of the survivors. One of the things he would do, again, I'm trying to just stick to the facts. Mm-hmm. He would get a powerful person and say, come to my house for the big party. The butler would say, oh, there's a young woman who wants to give you a massage. She would be underage. They would videotape it. He would then have that as leverage. That person would then pay him off. He had a fake hedge fund that they would invest, donate to. That's where he made his money. One of the ways he made his money. So right there's a lot of people that would want him dead, because if he gets busted, he's got one way out.
Yeah.
The evidence against him is too damning, and he's not going to skate out like he did in 2008, in my opinion. So one way is you make a deal. You're facing 45 years in jail the rest of your life. You're 60-some years old. Or you make a deal and implicate all these people. Now, all these powerful people, guess what? I'm not going to be shocked. That means CEOs, the heads of intelligence agencies. We see, presidents are implicated. Our names, the Bill Clinton thing, we're going to get into that.
Yep.
Again, there's facts.
Yeah.
He said 4 times. There's 26 trips on logs. Those are flight logs.
Yep.
There's times where he specifically left the Secret Service off.
Yep. 5 times in particular, I think.
5 times.
Yeah.
5 times.
To the islands when he was
to the island. So, and this island, you know, I saw some of the drone footage. I put that in one of my things, one of my videos. So I think he's dead. I think they, the powerful, had him killed. If he was alive, we may never know.
Yep. You want to hear my theory?
I want to hear your
You ready
theory.
to this? He's alive. He made a deal with Donald Trump, and he's kicking it in Saudi Arabia. There's a reason why I think that, or maybe Israel. Either way. In the beginning of Donald Trump's presidency, remember when he moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and it was a big thing? I think that was part of the deal of kind of getting in the good with Israel, you know what I'm saying? So that when they grabbed a hold of Epstein, they made that deal. And Epstein just opened the doors to everything. The FBI couldn't get on that island. They weren't allowed on there. As soon as he's dead, the next day, FBI's all over there. They're going all over the place. The whole time, they were doing construction, and they had, gardeners working there, but they couldn't get on the island. So my personal opinion is, and I'm going to get more into this as we talk about Bill Clinton, as we talk about Donald Trump. I believe he made a deal with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's got all the information to take down the Clintons and their whole global network, and that is what's happened. That's my personal opinion. I can't prove it, but that's my gut feeling and saying, wait, he's not dead. There's no way they would let this guy die. He's the key. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Clinton had him whacked. I'd be a little surprised if Trump had him whacked, but maybe Trump did have him whacked, because now anybody who wants to make a deal with Epstein wants to make a deal to give more information for Epstein can no longer make a deal because Epstein's dead.
It's an interesting theory, and I don't know that I don't have anything to like poke holes in, because you bring up a good point. The evidence, and we know he had his home's videotape. So there's hard drives.
Yep.
There is video evidence, not to mention the flight logs and everything else.
Yep.
So there is hard evidence. Where is that evidence? Who has it? Supposedly the FBI has it, in their investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing somebody said was like, look, when Epstein died, he was the one person that could refute what his defense lawyers were going to do. Is what any defense lawyer does is, you got the evidence illegally. Get the evidence thrown out is what every defense lawyer tries to do.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, well, he's dead. No one can refute it now. So they've got the evidence. But I'm just like, I'm curious. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the evidence hits the light of day. I hope all these powerful people get taken out.
Yep.
I have some feelings on that maybe this is going to be the catalyst that gets all of these people to wake up and go, we're done.
Yeah.
We're taking you out. No one's backing off. Ruling class, we want all
it.
of you. We
This
want
is it.
all of you.
This is it. And a lot of information out there that I've seen said, just relax. All that information's out there anyways. They're bringing it out slowly by slowly, because if they try to bring it out too much, it's going to scare people away. So...
And another thing that they're doing is they're saying, well, we need to focus on the victims and completely not talk about Epstein because we're doing disservice to the victims. And I disagree with that. I think precisely because of these victims, and because this is going to continue until we hold all these people accountable, is the reason we need to continue talking about this and continue talking about Epstein. And it's not about the sympathy for Epstein. It's about what he's just the tip of the iceberg in the implications that over powerful people, not only in this country, but also in other countries.
Yeah. And I think you bring up a good point here. Anytime they withhold information about the perpetrators and the pedophiles and the people profiting from it, and they use the excuses protect the victims, that's a red flag. Yep. That is complete bullshit, because the victims are like, well, no, I came forward. Everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
You're using this, like Kamala Harris did this when she was district attorney in San Francisco, when there was a bunch of pedophile priests that got busted, and she wouldn't reveal the names of the priests, and she said, we're protecting the victims. And the head of SNAP, the victims organization, said, bullshit.
I remember that.
This was back in 2010.
Yes.
So when I hear that language, we got to protect the victims are like, no, you think Virginia Roberts, I can't pronounce her last name, but
Virginia Roberts is
Virginia Roberts, we know who she is.
Yeah.
She's public about it. She's done interviews. She doesn't need to be, revealing the actual people, the powerful people that raped her and other children.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt the victims. The victims want this out. The victims were told shut up. The victims were paid off, threatened, whatever, or just mentally and physically abused to think, I better not speak up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to be real careful of the language that they use.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to start this off. Somebody said John Wick killed him. We got about 600 people watching on the CONVO couch.